Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Unified live stream. It's another Thursday night of UAL action. It's the playoffs, as we've got a lower bracket matchup to figure out who is going to be moving on into the final four of the UAL playoffs. My name's Mac Dewey. Joining me in the casting booth for tonight's action is my main man, Billabang.
What's
How are
up,
you doing
homies?
today, my man?
I'm doing great. I can't wait to see some lower bracket action. Two teams excited to watch them play, HOH and Longhorn Gaming. HOH coming from the lower bracket, making a big run. They've won 2 in a row, so looking for a third. Longhorn did go down pretty early, but they have won their last one as well. So we have the rosters up here now on your screen. We got for UT, it's Azexian in top lane, Yellow Bumblebee, Jungle, Metered in mid, Meekin win in the ADC, and just chatting in the support role. So we were talking about before, they had a couple swaps in positions. A lot of them, even in solo queue, have been very flexible. So it'll be interesting to see how they fit in with each other.
Yeah, Meekin win the ADC for Longhorn Gaming sometimes has kind of whipped out a solo lane Fiora in these UAL matches. So it's regular UAL, the chaos. We're going to try to thrive in it as we cast tonight's action. And on the side of HOH, they've got a little bit of a lower bracket dream run going. Last week, they Friendly Fire took out a fellow third seed from the regular season in Meme City Esports. And they're now looking behind and only forward to see maybe can they keep it going, Billabang. It's all been about Arrogant in the top lane. He's been on an absolute tear on Gwen, on Jax, on Aatrox. Some huge solo threat potential from that side of the map for HOH. It's where, for me personally, Billabang, where my eyes are going to be glued for a lot of this match.
Yeah, I think so too. I think top lane, especially with the recent changes to the meta, is going to be super important. Herald, both of them now worth 200 gold. Dragons, very important also. So hopefully it means we get some more early game action. It's been something that's been talked about a lot in the league community, is the fact that we were kind of lacking a lot of that early game action. Obviously for advanced league, we get all early game action all the time,
right?
But hopefully this gives us some more, and hopefully it means people are fighting over early objectives. It'll be interesting to see how it affects drafts too, just because like you want to try and go for those early objectives. You want to start getting dragons earlier. They give you that extra buff, like the fact that Mountain Dragon gives you 9% extra shielding and armor and magic resist.
Pretty good.
Like that, it's so much. It's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. And on that point, Billabang, on the side of HOH, I think someone who's really started to come up is Vase in the bot lane, with the meta kind of shifting away from the Jinx, the Zeri, to kind of some interesting picks. I mean, Neela is out, so we'll have to see if anyone's brave enough to lock that in. Or even Vase has been playing the newly updated Sivir and has been succeeding on it very well, and the Jhin. So I expect, even if HOH, we're going to be looking for them to play around Arrogant in the top lane. There are no slouches down in the bot, as Billabang, you mentioned, both neutral objectives, Rift Herald and Dragon, going to be very important in this series.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of pocket picks people may pull out too. I'm expecting a lot of flexibility throughout both these teams. Like both these junglers, especially, have such huge champion pools that they can really go into anything, and especially with some of the buffs that came through in the last patch, the Jarvan one especially. I think that might be a highly contested pick between these two junglers. But here we go into draft for game number 1 of this series. I can't wait.
Here we go, Billabang. Longhorn Gaming versus HOH Gaming. The battle for a spot in the last four for the UAL summer season. Money on the line here for these teams, as we're going to be starting off draft Callista, another pick for Vase that he's been picking up a little bit for. He's got some of that scaling with the Jhin and the Sivir, but the early game is there for him as well with this Callista pick.
Yeah, an early game, bot lane prio is so important. Early game Callista gives you exactly what you want with that priority in the lane, always super strong. Rivals something like if you get Callista or Renata, you can battle something like Lucian Nami early game, which is super important for these objective controls. Like I said, Dragon's so important. We see an Olaf taking off table as well for Yellow Bumblebee. HOH denying that one away. And again, another early game pick that people want to go for that is being denied by HOH.
And Billabang, I think this Olaf ban is very interesting. Yellow Bumblebee has kind of sort of a carry jungle pool specifically. I've seen a lot of teams ban Rengar against him, but HOH opting to take away the Olaf. Who knows? Maybe they're going to invest heavily in the jungle bans, but there's a lot of strong champions out there in the meta right now as we see Arrogant not going to be able to get his hands on that Jax like last week.
Yeah, unfortunately was not able to. It actually popped off on that pick, so will be taken away. The Ornn, quintessential top laner. It's the bruiser, mage, tank, burst top laner that everybody wants to have. It also gives free items, so you always like having that on your team. That's going to be taken away. And I really like Ornn right now as a blind pick. I think Gnar was a really good blind pick. It kind of got taken off the table. Now Ornn is really so good, and if you happen to get something like early Mountain Drake, you can stack those armor and magic resist on top of it, and he just becomes like unkillable in the top lane.
Meanwhile, speaking of the top lane, Arrogant also losing that Gwen that we talked about early, Billabang.
A lot of top bans.
Yeah, fair enough. The top lane stud is going to be a little limited here in game number 1. And a lot of time we see HOH right now on the red side, they have the final pick, that counter pick, often used in solo lanes to get a little bit of an advantage in the 1v1. If they save that for Arrogant, they risk having Longhorn tack on 2 additional bans onto their top laners. So very tricky draft for these teams to manage here in the playoffs, as Can Win not going to be able to play that Zeri, very popular champion for him, but a champion that, hey, Billabang, it's still around and it's still pretty good. Senna, first pick here for Longhorn to secure a safe bot lane.
I don't think there's anything they can do to take this champion out of the meta. It doesn't matter what do you do to her soul. She's going to be there in ADC or in support, just chatting. Most played champion throughout this season on that Senna. So something very, very comfortable, but it leaves up a couple options now for the other side. I was going to say Sivir is one of them, and it's going to be picked up immediately by Vase. So new Sivir ramps up a little bit worse, but once he gets to late game, does some insane damage. And I can't wait to see it here in the Advanced League, because I think Vase is going to have a really good game on it. He looked amazing on it last time we saw him, so I'm expecting some of the same.
Yeah, I believe it was a 20-kill game on the Sivir, if memory serves me right, from last week. So big game potentially here for Vase. This is kind of interesting. In the past, with the Sivir lock-in, HOH have sometimes opted to put Arrogant on something like Shen, to where it still have some solo carry threat in the side lanes, but also maybe a little bit more team-oriented with the Stand United. So HOH, I like this Sivir pick here to kind of respond to what Longhorn have been showing them so far. And the Sivir pick also kind of shuts down Senna, I think, in the early lane, but Yasuo gonna be locked in. And in classic, I feel like UAL fashion, Billabang, we're getting some interesting picks.
That could be bot lane paired with the Senna as well. I've seen a couple Senna Yasuo in the bot, so that could be where it goes. And especially against something like a Renata Sivir, I think the win wall is absolutely massive. I think that could be very, very strong if that's where they decide to put the Yasuo here. Mid lane pick possibly coming in here. No, it's going to be Diana, so they're going to lock in the Diana Yasuo, another tried and true combo, the mid jungle duo that absolutely smacks everybody. That lands on top of you, you're not going anywhere. And Poppy looks like it's going to be the pick. Super popular jungler in the last couple of weeks, and the anti-dash is going to make life really hard for the Diana Yasuo.
Exactly. This is something Longhorn Gaming I don't think have showed all season long, but here in the playoffs, they're bringing out something new for us, as Aatrox is going to be the first ban on the side of HOH. Pretty interesting here. Billabang, I wonder just how much we're going to see this top lane champion pool kind of limited, as in mid lane it hasn't really been touched until we see a Cassiopeia ban come through.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting. And for me, I think this has to be Tahm Kench. I mean, Senna Tahm Kench is very popular, but it's going to be the Wukong taken away here. I mean, I guess it is a really good pick for the top lane for the blind, but you have a Poppy, so I don't know if that's worth the ban. He's strong, but I mean, regardless, that is going to be the one they're taking away. So for me, I think for Longhorn, you have your Tom Kench lock in here, and you get yourself. It's hard to blind pick right now. They're taking a lot of options. Lysandra in mid, very stable, a good answer to a lot of what they want to do. It looks like the Vigar might be the possibility. There's a lot of scaling for Longhorn here.
Yeah, Benjamix gets a classic pick here on the side at HOH. This is something he's super comfortable on. Big mage player in Lysandra. I think it opens him up to make some big engages and just overall kind of allows him to a lot of mage champions, I think, outside of maybe kind of Zir, the playmaking sometimes isn't really there for big engages. But I think for a team that was somewhat lacking a little bit of engage, the Lysandra is perfect, as Set is going to be locked in for the top lane. And now Billabang, the question the draft has been building to, what do we got going on for Arrogant in the top lane?
I think it's going to be a Shannon few. No, he's just going to slam the Darius. He doesn't care what you're banning him out on. He is going to take the Darius. I like that choice. Darius in the set makes life really, really tough in the early game for the set, and I really think it fits well into the team comp. Gives you a little bit more engaged, but I think it gives you that early game push you can pop up with that Poppy. I think it's going to be very interesting, but it does mean, I didn't even realize that means Yasuo is going to be in the bot lane for Longhorn, so that's going to be an interesting lane to watch as well. We got some hot. This should be a good game. I think these team comps are spicy. I think it's going to be a good game.
Arrogant on the Darius, Yasuo, Diana coming out from the side of Longhorn Gaming. Ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be a very exciting playoff matchup here in the UAL. Don't go anywhere. We're going to hop into a quick break as we get loaded up and ready to go onto the Rift. Don't click out of that browser. We'll be back in just a sec. Hello, Summoners! Welcome on to the Rift for game number 1 between Longhorn Gaming and HOH Gaming. It is the battle for a final spot in the top 4 teams here in UAL Summer 2022. My name's Mac Dewey. Still with me for the game on the Rift is my main man, Billabang.
Heyo.
Arrogant. At the end of that draft, locked in for the final pick, Darius into the top lane, HOH's star on a crazy carry pick.
I love seeing a Darius pick in top lane because it's literally just like, yeah, I'm going to win lane and there's actually nothing you can do about it. You literally just have to play as safe as possible and just hope that you don't get absolutely smashed, because if that Darius gets ahead, your game's pretty much over.
And to that point, I think what's also interesting is as we look for the later fights in the mid to late game, HOH has Vase's Sivir ultimate to give a huge speed boost to Arrogant to get into the fight. So I think this HOH comp has a lot of synergy that I'm a big fan of.
Well, they also got double go, so if they want to get in the fight, they got the go buttons ready. And I love the fact that Ghost is being used by so many more people now. I think like Exhaust, it was just so undervalued for so long, but now we're seeing it. A lot of top laners are taking it. We're seeing some junglers take it as well, like Hecarim. I think it was so underrated for so long, and I think it's so useful, especially for a Darius in the top lane. And we are gonna have a pause. Woo! My favorite. There's going to be an early pause here. Looks like a disconnection, but like we were talking about, Darius is one of those champions where it's like you take that with your last pick and you're like, okay, we're hard winning top lane, almost guaranteed. So we have to figure out what we're going to do later on in the game, because there is for the side of not for HOH, for the other side, they have a Senna and they have Veigar, right? So you have a lot of scaling. So you're going to have to try and find, an advantage early to get yourself moving, because yes, you have Lissandra who has decent scaling. And I mean, yeah, sure, your bot lane has a little bit too, but you're not like the other team has. So you got to make sure for Longhorn for Longhorn to get that late game, you got to make it there. And for HOH, you got to find a way to stop them.
And what I think will be a little tricky might just be getting that Yasuo online. They're looking to combo with Yellow Bumblebee in the jungle. So it's going to be on this Diana pick for Yellow Bumblebee, who's, I would say, used to stepping up and contributing a lot to the team, has been picking picks like Olaf, Wukong, Rengar to really play aggressively throughout this season, and that's what we're gonna have to see from him here on this Diana. But I think trying to play aggressively into the bot lane of Sivir Renata Billabang is gonna be a little tricky.
Yeah, I definitely think, I mean, yes, you have the option with Diana with the early clear to go down bot, go a little bit before, get there before Poppy for sure. It'll be interesting to see if they go for it, because Yasuo Senna doesn't really have a lot of power, and especially, I mean, obviously the Yasuo Diana ult combo is one of the best in the game, but you have to get to level 6 before that, and it is a melee carry in bot for Yasuo, so it is going to be tough for him to farm, especially against Renata. Yes, you're going to have wind wall, but it's on a 30-second cooldown, so you're going to have to play that lane pretty carefully. So maybe Diana wants to go down there early, try and find an advantage. We know Sivir right now. I have a question for you. How do you feel about new Sivir?
I am a huge fan of new Sivir Billabang, and I'll tell you exactly why. I feel like putting the attack speed gain on Ricochet throughout the entire game is just a feels good, man. Like, you get it during early trades, and you can kind of have some playing around that a little bit. Waiting until 6 to get the, like, early game Ricochet when it was in slow-mo just felt so unnatural.
It was kind of funny watching it go where it's, like, slower than an auto attack as you're watching it. So you just bounce between minions and do, like, literally no damage to them. It was pretty bad. It was a good... I like the fact that they're getting the healing on the E as well. I think, yes, she was very mana-dependent before, but... now it's way better, and I think the heal is much more useful.
Yeah, and not only that, but this new Sivir, it has a little bit more, I think, impact during the late game, specifically with the ultimate, because that on the hunt can keep on refreshing and refreshing, and that's exactly what Arrogant's going to be looking for. As we talked about this Longhorn gaming bot lane being a little bit short range, but when the tornadoes are connecting, boy oh boy, Billabang, does it feel good.
Yeah, and we see a ghost here for Set as well. Interesting choice there. Obviously, he has kind of the same idea that Darius does, where I just want to run it like for as Exian here, he wants to do the same thing. He just wants to run at the other team, try and pick someone up. The problem is you don't really have any super tanky members. Optimally, you'd want to have, well, it might be activity ball lane here though.
Oh my goodness, the trade coming through. Me Can Win connects with the final third tornado of the Steel Tempest there, and some really solid trading as just chatting and Me Can Win. They may have a small range deficit in the fact that Yasuo is melee. They're not playing like scared whatsoever, and this early game aggressive Senna is really working out as HOH getting pushed underneath the turret. Base not really gonna have too much trouble though CSing and picking up this farm, as here comes Benjamix. A roam from the mid lane, dashing in, the root connects. Me Can Win gonna try to flash out of there as Benjamix burns the flash out of the Longhorn ADC with the roam.
Just chatting, also forced to use the heal there to keep the bot lane alive. A good roam early, and does have the TP available as well, but Benji sticking around here and bought for quite a while. Is going to lose at least a wave or two in mid to Vigar. And Vigar
oh my goodness, the recall stopped again!
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. And with Diana floating down here as well, you see on the middle of your screen, Vigar is going to force this wave right into the turret. TP can't get off. Finally, he's going to be able to get off that TP. But unfortunately, it's just so much XP lost. It was a good effort, but in the end, you're just wasting a TP, and you're probably losing at least a level in mid.
Benjamix immediately teleports as soon as the recall is completed. Meanwhile, Mua, looking for a top lane gank, I think does get spotted there, going too far out the brush before really reasonably connecting. I think Azexian kind of sniffed something was going on. I mean, Poppy wasn't on the bottom side of the map, so assuming that Mua was up there in the top lane to try to help Arrogance, Darius was the right call, as Azexian just able to back off. The first dragon of the game going to be spawning soon, as Benjamix already kind of roaming down, trying to get some vision priority for the bot side of the map.
And we see what the junglers are going for here. One going for the damage, Poppy going for the cooldown boots, wants to start getting those roams, those ganks off, trying to help out these laners. And you look at this CS lead picked up by Yasuo, has the wave coming in as well, so
that's
a
huge.
Pretty significant CS lead, as well as a lot of XP lost when they had to back at level 3, Yasuo level 4 here. So I was talking about Yasuo in this early laning phase would have trouble, and Me Can Win has just proven me wrong.
Meanwhile, Yellow Bumblebee is spotted out, but has the scrying lens to figure out, hey, I'm on a ward, guys, and HOH, they aren't able, look, all 4 members, Billabang, were looking for that pick onto the Diana, but Yellow Bumblebee just says, see you later, suckers, and rotates on over to the top side of the map. But meanwhile, Mua may be looking for a gank here, as well as some counter jungling, just chatting, going to approach Sayonara. Vince has to be careful. Here comes Moo with the flash! Wall slam coming in! They see you through the mist! Just chatting, gets taken down, first blood, going over to HOH.
So important for Vase finding that first blood. I thought the Ignite was going to kill, but it didn't. And I mean, for just chatting, I think that's a big mistake there. You know you're a level up on this Renata Sivir. There's no reason for them to even be challenging you in that scenario. Yasuo had already gone for his reset, just sticking around too long, fighting top as well.
Yellow Bumblebee gets flashed on by Benjamix, and here is the showstopper coming out! Azexian making a big play, and that's going to be the haymaker for the kill. It's a 1-for-0 in favor of Longhorn Gaming. Benjamix trying to flash in to make the play, ends up getting taken down in a big CS lead for DPS metered here on the Vigar in this mid lane.
Ooh, nice stun, but they're going to walk away. And Sayonara event's only level 3 here. Has to be careful because junglers roaming around might be a problem, but no. Diana is top, not anywhere near that. And I think this is also disaster for Arrogant here. He was up 15 CS, had pretty good control of this lane, but now a kill going over to Set kind of resets that. But now you see he has his pickaxe. Set hasn't been able to reset, and for Azexian, he can't leave. He's going to lose so much CS here that Darius is going to be able to freeze it permanently. So he has to wait for his jungler. You see Diana moving up here, has to be able to cover this lane, try and at least get some of this XP. And no, he's actually going to accept his fate and go for the reset.
Oh my goodness, just I feel like a lot of us have been there before. For any of my top lane warriors,
it is the worst thing ever.
Yeah, it's so
it is
tough.
So I play so much top lane, and you see a Darius that freezes your lane, you're like, please, Yellow Bumblebee, I need help. Please come.
1 gig top, please.
Just
help
come
me
up
out.
so we can shove this in and reset.
Oh my goodness.
Yellow Bumblebee's like, nah, I'm just gonna farm.
Yeah, no, literally. Azexian's like, I'm gonna try to find something else, maybe get some vision control, but right now, big CS lead for Arrogance Darius.
Looks like Dragon might be on the cards here from Muwa. Still only on those boots. Another reset coming through for Yellow Bumblebee. Might sniff out this Poppy, trying to start up the Ocean Drake. Poppy finally out for a reset here, so Muwa finally getting some items in their hand. Ooh, Arrogant, nice hook.
He has the Noxian Guillotine available, and that's gonna be the slam dunk for the kill in the top lane.
Solo kill for Darius, up 40 CS, and now has a kill back, and that's exactly what we wanted to see, but Yellow Bumblebee might be in a rough spot. Never mind. Big hammer, and they leave.
DPS meter able to flash away after the Keeper's verdict from Mua is able to buy some much needed space for the rest of the team. Big disengage as DPS meter again able to flash away. I think would have been dead if he didn't burn that summoner spell. Ocean Dragon is not going to be prioritized as Arrogant. Let's watch this recall as we see what he picks up. Oh my goodness, boots and the whip ready to go back into the top lane he goes.
Now again, no TP for Zexian here, so wasn't able to pick up that wave, lost some more XP, lost some more gold, and lost the ghost as well in that fight. So is going to be Darius still holding the advantage in this top lane, and Dragon looks like it might be taken here. I don't think it's going to be contested actually by HOH. So it's a free one for Longhorn.
And we talked about this a little bit during the start of the stream here, but Billabang, just as a reminder for the viewers at home, in the recent league patch, these dragons are just flat out, they were straight up buffed, so even this early Ocean Dragon, pretty nice for Longhorn Gaming, as that early objective going to feel very nice in their pocket as HOH, they're going to respond on the top side of the map, looking to pick up the Rift Herald.
I appreciate that little fun fact there, that Darius's axe was over 100 pounds if it was made to scale in real life, which is 6 times heavier than anything in the entire world. I feel like that's never mind. Got
another flash wall slam from Mua. That's going to be an easy pickup there onto DPS metered, but I feel like we're focusing on a lot of the solo lanes for HOH Gaming. Billabang, this bot lane, Vase and Sayonara Vince are seriously struggling.
Yeah, Rift Herald here. Looks like it's going to be popped in mid, so some plates as well. Looks like trading actually across the map, so mid lane plates going down, bot lane as well. They're being completely zoned off of this wave. You can see how far up Me Can Win and Just Chatting are forcing them. They can't even get any of these minions dying under turret. And plates are coming through as well. It's such a rough spot. Yellow Bumblebee has to be careful here. Mua's here as well. Not going to go for it.
Mua with Hex Flash on Poppy. I love that little tech there. Super aggressive to look for the wall slams like that. Rift Herald, as we saw, used in the mid lane. Benjamic's going to be feeling a lot better. But right now, we talked about how this Longhorn Gaming composition, it is built around Me Can Win, hoping to get a big win here in the playoffs for Longhorn Gaming. Longhorn looking to bounce back after a rough 2-0 loss last week in the winners bracket against Zenigma Eclipse. So they're down but not out here, and certainly this bot lane is, I think, a valid strat for them to try and play through the super strong Yasuo.
Yeah, it looks like early objectives taken. Dragon, not for another 3 minutes here. Looks like a play might be made. Poppy sneaking up here. Mua waiting for someone to move forward, but no, I think they sniffed it out Don't want to go for this play yet. Gonna be knocked up, but no ult. And you have to be careful with this Poppy round, because if you go in for that ult, you have nowhere that you can run. You are going to get knocked out and knocked down as soon as you jump into that. So, again, very, very good play here in the bot lane by Meekin Win. The fact that he's up 40. You see the DCS differences in top and bot being mirrored right now for both sides. Uh-oh.
There's the Hex Flash over the wall. Meekin Win gonna try to flash away. Base flash it in response, but there's Yellow Bumblebee. Watch out for the Moonfall coming in. The ultimate Meekin Win slices Base apart as Arrogant up in the top side of the map. Gonna be able to flash away. The bleed slowly but surely is Zexian with that extra health regen on the set, able to survive. Longhorn Gaming, they get a kill on the bot side of the map, and very importantly, Billabang, they get the kill on Meekin Win.
Zexian sticking around here. He's in a dangerous spot. Lissandra is roaming up as well. I don't think there's any way out of this. No summoners available either. This is just a straight dive.
Easy frozen tomb there. Benjamix just gonna walk on out of there as a well-timed roam. Once again for Benjamix, has been super active, it feels like, on both the top side and bot side of the map. Has been feeling a little bit of the pain in response to that, because DPS metered, getting his second plate of the game on this. Vigar has been chilling, farming up, and getting to that late game.
That's the goal when you're Vigar. Get those stacks going. Good roam there by Benji to move towards the top lane. Set, obviously, like I said, no sums, no ult, no way to get out of that one, so just forced to go down. Items completed for both junglers here. 56 seconds on this dragon. You see the wards being put down for both sides here. Yasuo not quite on an item yet. Sivir neither on that as well. So we'll see. Looks like both top laners actually going to go back towards top lane. No TPs, so might be a 4v4 here, the dragon.
And that 4v4, I feel like, Billabang, correct me if I'm wrong, but looks to me to be super Longhorn Gaming favored. I mean, Meekin Win doesn't have the mythic item online just yet, but is still in a really strong spot with this Yasuo, in addition to kind of the playmaking setup that the composition has inherently. As we talked about, the stars for this Longhorn comp, it's this Diana-Yasuo combo that they're going to be banking on a lot. But here's the engage. No Diana here right now in the bot lane. Watch Yellow Bumblebee roaming on down, trying to buy time. There's the early ultimate. The last breath comes out. Mua looking for a wall slam again. Benjamix trying to roam, but is going to get rooted down. Everfrost root, Frozen Tomb to try to stay alive. Is going to get stunned up, and there's the Primordial Burst. Metered, picking up a kill. Longhorn Gaming, they get 2 kills on the bot side of the map, and Dragon is up.
HOH Gaming chewing off more than they could possibly fit in their mouths. They went for that kill, just weren't able to convert on it. It meant that Poppy was in a rough spot on that other wall. Knockup came through perfectly timed there, just waiting out that anti-dash. And I mean, can't ask for a better fight than that. Lissandra tried to roam down as well. Unfortunately, just wasn't able to get that timing in to work with Poppy. 2 kills, Dragon and Turret. You said the fight was going to be Longhorn Gaming favored. You were very right about that.
Yellow Bumblebee didn't even have to use the Diana ultimate. I want to speak to, I feel like, how well Meekin Win and Just Chatting have been playing this Yasuo Senna lane. It is not an easy lane to play whatsoever, but here in the playoffs, they are stepping up and crushing their opposing lane.
Sayonara Vince up here on the roam as well. Turret. I think Arrogant's just going to go for the turret, and then once that's down, I don't think Seth has anywhere to go.
Showstopper comes out early as Zexian gonna try to turn around this fight, but Longhorn Gaming, they have all 5 members up here in the top lane. That's what it takes to try to handle. There's the Keeper's Verdict. The huge Poppy Peel Mua keeps the whole team alive as Sayonara Vince says Sayonara Longhorn Gaming, and HOH gets out of the fight.
I can't believe that. Mua, amazing technical work there to save the support. Nice stopwatch. And then the Vigar wasting a flash there. Isn't going to have that for this next fight. And with Herald up and available, a fight looking for it as well. This might be a tough spot for Longhorn.
Billabang, we've got more action on the top side of the map as there's the last breath ultimate to try to take down Benjamix. Here comes the hostile takeover as well. Arrogant gets 1 dunk, gets 1 kill. He's going to try to turn around this fight. There's the bailout. He needs to try to get a kill. Look at the damage. The shutdown, though, goes over to Just Chatting. Arrogant can't stay alive as Base is going to try to clean up the fight, takes down Just Chatting. Mua falls on the tail end of this one, Rift Herald is going to be going over to Longhorn Gaming as they pick up 3 big kills and the objective.
3 for 2 fight, not too bad for Longhorn. They're going to get the Herald as well. Really good, well thought out fight there by Longhorn. Wanted to engage on 2 sides. Unfortunately for Arrogant, if he gets that ult on Senna, I think that fight looks completely different. They can start running towards the bottom half of the river. They can start aggressing way more than they were, but unfortunately just couldn't get that ult down. Yes, Sivir does end up getting the kill. Vase, another 300 gold in his pocket, but that they lose the Herald, which is now 200 gold there, and they go down in the 2 for 3 for HOH. So Longhorn coming back in this game, in this early game, looking a lot better, up about K.5 gold, so not too much of a lead, but definitely momentum-wise are feeling it right now.
Now, here we go, Billabang, into the mid-game. Early game is over. Longhorn Gaming up about 1,000 gold as Arrogant moves on out of the top lane, and right now he's looking like the big focal point here, up 72 CS, is averaging about 10 CS per minute, is really feeling himself on this Darius, but it's going to come down to not only the team fight execution for both of these teams, but Billabang, we're going to have to start paying close attention to see how these teams are going to assign their lanes as objectives are spawning up. For this next dragon specifically, this might be Arrogant's first dragon fight as he's staying on the bottom side of the map.
I think really good decision by both these teams. You want to let the Vigar stay bot where the only tier 1 is still up for Longhorn. You want to try and get those stacks going while you can stay relatively safe under that turret dragon up in a minute and a half. So you still have a little bit of time here before that's available.
Right.
We're going to see resets coming through now here. Some vision being put down really early on here by Longhorn. Going to be swept out by Sayonara here on the front side. But for me, again, I think Longhorn is going to have the advantage in this fight. You got the Yasuo here with 9.5. You have Diana with that reset coming through. Almost the Sunfire completed for her as well. It's going to be really up to Arrogant to see how this fight plays out, because like we saw in that last fight, if he got that first reset, if he was able to find the Senna, these fights look completely different. So it's going to be up to Longhorn to try and find a way to shut him down.
HOH, especially on the bottom side of the map, a little down. Me can win. BF Sword, Zeal, Immortal Shield Bow online for this Yasuo. Really, not even getting two completed items. I feel like just having those components puts him in just such a feel-good position. Like everything's starting to come together, and Me can win. This is exactly where he hoped he was on this pick, but as Dragon is about to spawn, HOH, they send Arrogant to the top side of the map. I don't think they have any interest in fighting over this third Drake.
Yeah, I think they're just going to send him to collect that one. Some wave clear coming through here for Senna. Hero going to pop through just for mid priority so they can walk through this jungle and get this dragon almost for free, because HOH are forced to try and clear out mid. But no, they're actually going to look for a play here. Jungle, no, they're going to turn off, and Darius looks like he just wants to go for that turret. He doesn't care about this dragon, so looks like Longhorn going to set up. But this is the thing, though. This is third dragon already. Soul is on the cards now for Longhorn, and HOH are going to have to find an answer in about 5 minutes.
Oh my goodness. Pings for Longhorn on this Baron. The Dragons this patch are a whole lot more healthy as Baron Nashor looks like it's winnable here for HOH. They're trying to melt down. This objective is about 50% HP. As Longhorn Gaming make contact, the On the Hunt is called for Vase. The team is moving pretty quickly. Hostile takeover is burned. Baron Nashor stays alive as Longhorn Gaming force HOH to back off.
A third dragon for no cost for Longhorn. Ooh, Mua might be in a tough spot. Couldn't get the back off. 3 people chasing. Teammates leaving. But looks like going to try and stay under this turret. 3-man dive coming through. 4-man Poppy run.
Mua sending one out of there. Teleport coming in. Benjamix comes to help out. All of Longhorn Gaming are here right now. All 5 members. Nobody for HOH on the bot side of the map looking for that bot turret or anything. It's very much HOH. That was, dare I say, a bit of a Hail Mary to try and get back into this game with the Baron Nashor, but it gets snuffed out, and Longhorn Gaming respond beautifully and quite quickly.
I really like that idea. I think for HOH, if you had someone that could really burn stuff down early, like you had maybe a carry jungler who could shred it, I think they could have done it. But unfortunately, they give a Poppy. Your Lissandra was on the bot side as well, so you didn't have that option of just shredding that Baron instantly. And I mean, it was a desperate play, but at this point, yes, you're only down 2k gold, but now every single time this dragon is going to be looming. I think it's a visual bug there. It should be Hextech Drake that is available there in 3 minutes. So now you're going to be forced to fight every 5 minutes, whether you have an advantage or not at that dragon pit. And that always puts teams in such a tough spot, right? Where you're forced to go towards bot side. You can't allow yourself to get priority on this Baron. And it means that every time, like this dragon, you can give this up for a Baron and you won't even think twice about it.
Oh my goodness, the deep ward. Benjamix, luckily, Me Can Win is focused on that tower. Just chatting, I feel like used that word to land a pretty good snare, but no follow-up. Meanwhile, all of Longhorn Gaming trying to position here. Zexion in the base, no teleport, but Yellow Bumblebee. I think he's smelling Mua on this top side of the map. Me Can Win is there as well. Here's the initial engage. Mua just going to back off. Grabs a little bit of extra shield. Longhorn Gaming also going to back off. We got the next dragon in about 2.5 minutes. Baron is still available, and Longhorn Gaming, I think, can take Baron a lot faster than HOH can at this point.
Yeah, they definitely can here. Zexion wanted to defend this tier 1, but he put himself in a really bad spot. This might be another solo kill for Arrogant.
Oh, the flash! Arrogant misses the apprehend and can't pull a Zexion back in and is going to have to back off. Meanwhile, Mua smites the scuttle, but is it going to cost him? Keeper's Verdict is going to miss, but there is the dash interrupt, but it's a whole lot of damage onto Mua. Me Can Win flashes for the kill.
He was so tired of Mua getting away. He's like, no, you're not leaving this time. It is going to mean Baron is on the cards, and I don't think HOH have any way to get into this objective because of that. And now a Baron going over to Longhorn here, maybe trading for a tier 1 or tier 2 in mid, possibly tier 2 in bot. You're going to take that every single day as Longhorn, but now with Zexion being caught out, they might be in a weird spot.
Showstopper, not going to be enough to take down Vase. All of Longhorn Gaming with Baron buff are rotating from the objective. No recalls. They looked for the flank, and they force HOH to back off.
A red buff picked up on the way out for Vase. They're going to pop that, and they're going to be able to get right on out of there. 2 tier 2s for a Baron. Not a bad trade for HOH at this point in the game, but again, a minute on this Hextech Drake Soul. You have to be there if you're HOH. 300 gold to each member of Longhorn from that Baron, as well as the buff itself. They're going to be feeling good. You see Yasuo picking up that Infinity Edge and the Zeal. He's feeling real strong at this point. Rabadon's picked up for DPS metered as well. He's going to be doing a lot of DPS in this fight. So HOH, you got to play this really, really well. You got to find a good opportunity to get this Lissandra in the backline. Try and find the Veigar or the Senna. Take them out early. That's really your only choice in how to win these fights. Other than that, Sivir's your only chance.
Yeah, for HOH, Billabang, it feels like if they lose this fight, the game is pretty much all but said and done. They're only 2k gold down, and looking quickly at the items, it's a slight advantage for Longhorn Gaming, but HOH are here, and they're ready for this one. Arrogant and Benjamix on the left side here, looking for a flank. They're going to get zoned off. Dragon in 5 seconds. No ultimates used just yet. Double stopwatch for the Yasuo, for the Diana. Arrogant, the pick comes out. A huge keeper. Verdict is going to keep the Darius alive. And here we go. Mua looking for the wall slam. There's the Frozen Tomb. Double root. Big fight here for HOH Gaming as they take down Metered. And they get the pick they're looking for. Benjamix looking to dash forward. Looking for more hostile takeover. Going to miss there as Zexion avoids the Renata ultimate. But here we go. Mua into the back line. Drops the hammer down onto just chatting. HOH feeling cocky. Benjamix gonna try to buy time for the rest of the team. Arrogant in the mid lane, nowhere to be found. Bailout not going to connect. Last breath there onto Vase. Vase getting so low. Stopwatch from Me Can Win. That's huge. Can he figure out this fight? Yes! Shut down there onto Vase. Slicing and dicing through HOH Gaming. He's got a double kill as Longhorn Gaming, they somehow turn this fight around.
Mua absolutely slammed the hammer, but it didn't matter because Me Can Win said, no, this is my fight to win. Ends up turning it around in a 1v3, a perfect ultimate, just an even better stopwatch as well. They're going to get this final kill. They're going to get the Hex Tech Drake. They're going to get everything they want out of that fight. Longhorn Gaming, absolutely perfect in the clutch, perfectly played, and all credit to Mika and Win there. Absolute 1v9. That stopwatch timing was so good, and I got no words for that. That was incredible.
What a fight there. HOH, they pretty much, I think, get just about everything they're looking for outside of Arrogant getting kind of caught out early on in that fight. But they were feeling themselves, and they, I think, just pushed up a little too far where they maybe could have backed off and just looked for the dragon. But the playoffs are no time for playing it safe, and unfortunately for this time, HOH, they're going to end up losing the fight, losing the dragon. Longhorn Gaming up about 4,000 gold with the Hex Tech Soul in a super strong position.
You know they're kicking themselves because you look across the items of Mika and Win actually trying to go for a solo kill.
And just absolutely murders Benjamix in the bot lane, excuse me. Mika and Win is absolutely on a rampage as Arrogant. Feeling good. He's got levels up on just about everyone here. Hostile takeover gonna miss. Showstopper into the Longhorns of the Texas gaming crew. Longhorn Gaming get 2 picks there on the bottom side of the map. But here is Arrogant. Here is the hope for HOH Gaming. The slam dunk gonna try to pick up 1 kill. Huge healing. Huge shielding. Arrogant. Look at that axe. Decimate. Longhorn Gaming. 3 kills going over to HOH as Arrogant holds the fort down.
I think Arrogant's a better word for Longhorn there. You saw Mika and Win just felt invincible, but no, Arrogant says, you forgot. I'm playing Darius and I'm 3 items. You can't just walk into me and not have nothing happen. And you turn that fight around. 3 for 1, I believe, in the end of that one. Absolutely perfect play. And Benjamix hunting for the Vygar here, but ooh, big W. Benjamix has nowhere to go.
Oh my gosh, double! Oh, with the Frozen Tomb into the stopwatch, now the bailout. Hopefully Benjamix, no, not going to be able to get bailed out there. But Billabang, the base of Longhorn Gaming, is opened as that's an inhibitor turret going over to the side of HOH. This game is beyond crazy for playoffs, delivering on the UAL chaos for another awesome Thursday night of wonderful League of Legends action. Billabang, HOH, while they lost the soul, they're only down about 2.5k now.
This might be a potential kill, potential shutdown maybe for Vase if he can find this kill. DPS meter not going to be able to hit any of those spells. Oh, the ult, half ults Vase, but no kill coming through. So the Sivir picking up another kill. 6, 2, and 3 right now for Vase. He is pretty strong in these fights, and he's only going to get stronger, especially with Elder up in 3 minutes. Going to be super important there to try and find that third item. Stopwatch coming through as well. So Vase feeling good here. And HOH, like you said, despite the fact they have 0 objectives in this game, they still have 6 turrets. They're down. They took the mid inhib turret as well from Longhorn here. So there always is that threat of them walking into that base and taking that mid inhib down, which is going to be super vital here with the Baron up. And looks like HOH
oh my gosh, they're going to go for it. Look at the rest of Longhorn Gaming on the bot side of the map. Here comes Vase. This is the damage HOH needed to try and melt down this objective. Everybody from Longhorn is taking the Hex Tech gates to try to get here to the objective as quickly as possible. But the health bar is getting low for Baron. Smite and kill. Vase there in the back. He's staying alive. The Sivir is firing away. One boomerang after another. Slamma into the dunk. Vase is on a killing spree. Arrogant gets 1 kill, and HOH Gaming, they take the gutsy Baron call in this time around. Billabang, it works out as Arrogant, another slam dunk. He's on a rampage.
And just when Longhorn thought they had this game in the bag, HOH slammed the door in their face. They say, no, 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 it's our time to shine here. And Benjamix can't even get a reset out here to try and make it back as he is just sitting there waiting for him to move out, but can't even help it. TP coming through as well just to finish off the game. And that is it. HOH somehow, from a gold deficit with no objectives, are going to win this game on their first Baron. HOH go up 1-0 in the series.
HOH, the loser's dream run is online, Billabang. They were the third place team from the Ocean Division, and they are looking great here in the playoffs. Arrogance Darius, I mean, you guys saw our reactions when that pick was locked in, and boy oh boy, Billabang did I. Kind of threw the mid-game question if it was going to deliver, but what a Baron call. They spot out Longhorn out of position on the bot side of the map, and that is all they need to just steal that victory away from Longhorn.
Longhorn had this game in the bag, but they just shot themselves in the foot. They went for that bot push. Win was feeling a little bit too aggressive, went forward, ended up going down. A couple teammates went down with him, and then the Baron call, absolutely unbelievable. They went for that one. You spotted out Yasuo and Senna and bot. You had that trigger finger and said, okay, now is the time when we make our mark. And I mean, it seemed like there was just a little bit of miscommunication. They got right on top of it. They ended up winning that Baron fight, and I guess no objectives, 0 dragons. I think they got 1 Rift Herald and 0 dragons. So like basically you're winning the game off of just pure macro. And every single time, I was going to say this, but they ended the game too quickly. Every time there was an objective taken by Longhorn, they were able to get turrets. They found other ways around the map to keep the goal deficit very close, as well as getting themselves a little bit better positioning for the next objective. So I mean, definitely able to keep themselves in it, and it showed up, and they showed up exactly when they needed to.
HOH did not give up in game number 1, and you guys shouldn't give up on this series. We've got more League of Legends action coming right up. It's a best of 3 series to figure out which of these 2 teams is going to be moving on into the final 4 of UAL Summer 2022. Don't click out of that browser. We're going to be hopping into a quick break. We've got more League of Legends action coming your way in just a bit. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Unified live stream. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight as we continue on our coverage of the UAL Summer 2022 playoffs. We've got more losers action as we're continuing on our series. My name is Mac Dewey. Joining me for the matchup between Longhorn Gaming and HOH Gaming is still my main man, Billabang. How are you feeling, my guy, after game number 1?
Wow, now we have winners and losers. HOH being those winners, and a really an amazing comeback for them in that game. Like, I mean,
Sure.
they were down and out of it. I mean, they were never really down and out of it, but you're down like Drake's soul, and you're going to Baron to fight it. Like, that's never a good feeling at all. But they end up pulling it off. Really good macro play by them. Really good patience as well. Not over forcing that, even though they're couple times they got caught out, they were able to recover. They didn't lose too much. They were able to mitigate their losses, and they just waited for the mistake to come from Longhorn. And it did, and they were able to capitalize on it. They turned that into a Baron, and they turned that into a win. So really good job. And I do hear they'll be switching sides, so they're already wanting to change things up for them. Maybe they have more success on the other side.
And as we really heavily talked about in game number 1, the top side for HOH, Arrogant with a big game, as well as Vase, who struggled in the early game against the Yasuo Senna bot lane that Longhorn Gaming opted into, and we never really saw that Yasuo Diana combo really come to fruition, but the Senna Yasuo duo did some serious work in the bot lane, but Vase on the late game hyper carry Sivir never lost sight of when his power point was. And so, in addition to Arrogant coming up big after staying ahead through the early game, Vase was a big team fight contributor during that comeback. As ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the draft for game number 2.
Yeah, a couple times too, I want to say really good job by Mua in that game. Even though they did get caught out a couple of times, good recovery, able to do a really good job in those team fights of zoning away the assassins from actually getting access to that backline, allowing the Sivir to stay alive. Super important in those fights. And I think, again, probably looking maybe not towards the Yasuo Diana for Longhorn. I think I was a really smart move there, picking the Yasuo Diana and then rotating it into the bot lane. I think it worked really well into the Sivir Renata. And you could go for it again, but I think I really feel like Benjamix just had a struggle of a game, and DPS meter was kind of just AFK in lane stacking against Vigar. Didn't really get to see it at full power at any point. I really feel like you didn't have that time where you're just like, wait, that person just got one shot. So I definitely think for me, maybe put DPS metered on somebody a little bit more active around the map, see if he can follow Benjamix to these fights.
Yeah, and as we mentioned before, the sides have been swapped, so this time HOH Gaming on the blue side are not going to have the option of waiting until the end of the draft to lock in a potential counter pick for Arrogant, which evidently played a huge factor in game number 1 with that Darius coming up big. Now here in game number 2, Callista, and right now Jack's being hovered as bans for that same as game number 1 for the side of Longhorn. Diana popping up here on the side of HOH. They're going to try to limit Yellow Bumblebee, but they haven't taken away that Rengar yet, so I wonder if Longhorn Gaming feel good enough with their backs now up against the wall, Billabang. Down 1-0 in this best-of-3 series. Is Yellow Bumblebee bold enough to lock in the Rengar? Maybe. We'll find out.
Orin ban again from HOH here. I expect another top lane ban for Longhorn here. I think for me, Longhorn had that game in the bag. I think they just got a little bit too over-aggressive, being a little bit too confident, especially Meek and Win, definitely. He was so far ahead on the Yasuo. I gave the shutdown away to Arrogant there, and then again got caught out. Just caught out of place in the bot lane there, shoving the wave, Baron getting taken, and then by the time he got to the fight, it was already over. So I think you can kind of run back a similar comp if you want to, but Yeah, another top lane ban. Gwen can take it away from Arrogant here. We'll see. Maybe he goes for that first pick because they don't have the choice of that counter pick in top lane. So maybe you try and lock something in phase 1 here and get yourself a confidence boost of a pick.
A lot of game-specific bans targeted at these players leaves a lot of meta options open to both squads, as Talia is going to get locked in Billabang. In game number 1, we saw just how well Benjamix is able to roam around the map and make plays, and I don't know if there's a mid laner that does it better than Talia.
Yeah, Talia, one of the best mid laners for roaming in the game right now. Recently buffed, I think it was a couple patches ago. Hasn't really seen too much play so far in the Advanced League, but super strong. We are going to see the Senna locked in again for Longhorn here. I think just chatting had a really good game on the Senna, and I think a really good choice. Again, interesting to see what they're going to put down there. See maybe a Senna Tom Kench possibility. We'll see Mikan win on the Tom Kench, or just go for that Yasuo again.
Oh, goodness, but this Zeri Billabang was banned away in game number 1, and this is a huge comfort pick for me, can win. I saw just how well just chatting is mechanically on the Senna, and boy was it crisp. So Longhorn Gaming going for a little bit different of an approach to placing Me Can Win on the late game hyper carry. This time around, they're going to give Me Can Win a little bit more range and kind of take a step back away from the Wombo combo they had from game 1.
You're going to get the Wukong for Mua here as well. Super active early game jungler. A lot of stuff that you can do in team fights. Pairs especially well with Talia as well. And I think going to be a really good mid jungle duo there. We're going to get one more choice here for HOH. We'll see if they go for the soul lane for Benji, lock in something safe, but the Yuumi is going to get picked up here in the bot lane, and you got nobody here for no ADC picked up just yet for HOH. So interesting to see. I think maybe they wanted to try. I guess the Senna's already locked in, so you know what you're going into. Yuumi not really too threatened in lane by a Senna Zeri, so you kind of just get to sit in your ADC for free in that one, not have to worry about getting engaged on.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, there it is. Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
One of the comfort picks not banned away from Yellow Bumblebee comes out, and Billabang, the answer to our question, yes, in fact, Yellow Bumblebee is so bold as to lock in Rengar here in playoffs. Longhorn Gaming, again, down 0-1. If they lose this game, they're out of the playoffs. And Yellow Bumblebee going back to comfort as Darius is going to pop up in the second phase of bans.
Pretty good choice there in the ban phase. Probably, I mean, obviously, Arrogant still has a couple choices. You can't go for the Aatrox. A couple other things as well, but I think Darius kind of have to shut that down. We're getting a Rengar. I'm so excited for Yellow Bumblebee here. And I think going into this team, I think it's going to be very, very good into this team because you have Talia, doesn't have a ton of ways to get out of that other than the Zhonya's, and you have Yuumi, so you don't really have a lot of peel for your ADC whenever they pick it up. So that's going to be the question is, you have Mua for your engage, how are you going to peel your ADC? And it might mean Arrogant has to play a more defensive top laner, which I don't think HOH wants to do.
Now I wonder, HOH banning away the Poppy? Billabang, I don't think...
It could be a Rengar top. It's possible.
It is possible. I think someone unlikely. That'd be... I'm calling cap. That'd be crazy to play Rengar top into Arrogant. I would not recommend. I feel like that sounds like a bad time as Poppy and Viego are getting...
Maybe they're expecting it to be in top lane because they're banning away junglers. So, I mean, it could flex the top. It is going to be a pick here up for UT.
Yeah, wow.
They're gonna. I don't know what they're gonna do on this one. Actually, they're banning away jungle champs is very interesting.
Longhorn Gaming now. Maybe we're just wrong here on the casting booth. It's happened before, ladies and gents, believe it or not. But sometimes we're wrong. So we'll have to keep seeing as this draft unfolds. HOH still have left to pick both the ADC for Vase and the top laner for Arrogant as Tom Kench comes in.
Oh, is it a Zeri
and
mid?
I think
It's got to be Zeri.
Ezexian's played Zeri AP in the solo lane before, so that's what we got here.
Okay.
Crazy draft from Longhorn, keeping us on our toes, Bill Bang, and keeping us honest, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Tristana be locked in here possibly for HOH. That can also be flexed. No, it's going to be the Sivir lock in, so it's going to be Sivir, Yuumi in the bot lane. We have Talia and most likely mid, Wukong probably in the jungle. But for Longhorn here, a lot of flexibility in where you're going to move these pieces now. And we talked about that before the series, actually. We said they're very flexible. They can play a lot of different positions. So it'll be interesting to see where they put these champions. And the question for HOH is, you have no idea what you're picking right now into.
Yeah, and I do want to, in building on that idea, Billabang, of just how flexible Longhorn Gaming can play, Me Can Win has this, like, pocket Fiora solo lane that they might save for a matchup like this.
I like that call.
Hyper's playing with my emotions. I can't get too excited yet, but I can't trust the hovers. I can't trust the hovers. We'll see what gets locked in here. As Arrogant did actually lock in his champion for HOH. It's going to be a safe set into the top lane as Mordekaiser is locked in. So very likely Zeri in the mid lane, Mordekaiser up top.
Interesting choice. Zeri mid, not too common. It's happened, especially, I mean, it happens a lot of champions when they first come out and they're super OP. You just throw them in any lane and it works. So we did see a lot of Zeri mid then, but haven't really seen a lot of it since the nerfs. But I mean, it'll be interesting to say the least. I haven't seen a Zeri mid so far, so I don't really have too much context on it. But Yellow Bumblebee on Rengar is going to be the difference maker in this game, especially looking towards bot lane. You know that Sivir Yuumi is going to struggle a lot in laning phase. So if you can get that Rengar down there, start getting those bone tooth stacks, might be tough for HOH to play in this game at all.
Both of these teams desperate to not get knocked out of the playoffs. HOH, they took down Meme City last week in 2-1 fashion. Arrogant looking super strong in game number 1. HOH not looking like a third seed from the regular season. They are experiencing a bit of a playoff buff, dare I say, Billabang, working super well together. And something that I just loved, we talked about their decisive shot calling that won them the game last game, and I think that confidence is critical when it comes down to not only this high pressure situation of playing in the playoffs, but just finding some consistency in the game of League. I think it's big for the squad to get that kind of upset win headed into game 2.
Yeah, I definitely think, I mean, again, you're in lower bracket. Your season is on the line right now for Longhorn. You did end up losing that series to get down here to the lower bracket. HOH, amazing win in game number 1, amazing comeback victory. Longhorn, you got to find an answer. You got to step up here. And the question is going to be Yellow Bumblebee on his comfort pick. Can he carry this game? DPS meter playing the Zeri mid, something very unorthodox. And Ezexian, can you hold Arrogant? That's the question, is can you hold Arrogant in this game?
Can you contain the beast? That is the question, Summoners, as welcome on to the Rift for game number 2 of our best of 3 series. Will HOH continue the miracle losers run, or will Longhorn Gaming send us into game number 3?
Big question marks on both sides here. Teams looking like stand positioning here for HOH. Looks like Longhorn want to try something sneaky here. Sivir walking up. Tom Kench going to throw down a whoop, not going to go for anything too crazy early on in the game.
Sweepers is there for Longhorn Gaming. Some extra gold in the pocket as they're able to spot it out. And HOH, so quick, Billabang. We talked about this a lot last game. It feels like whenever they see Longhorn Gaming doing something on the map, they're able to mirror it very well on the other end.
Yeah, really good at responding. You see there on your screen, Zeri mid versus Talia, 45% win rate, 52% lane kill rate. So maybe go for something aggressive early on against this Talia. But Benji taking the ignite here. No TPs for the side of HOH here. 3 ignites for them. They're looking for that aggression. They want to just take this series in a 2-0.
And Billabang, Is it crazy to go Hail of Blades on Tom Kench? Or is that what's
No,
kind
it's
of the
it's
norm?
standard. It's standard
Yeah?
because
Okay.
you're trying to get those stacks as quick as possible
Right.
so you can get that damage in. So that is pretty standard. It is kind of an odd look, but is pretty normal
That's
for
funny.
Tom
Yeah,
Kench's
okay.
nowadays because it's not something you would expect from a tank support. Ooh,
Uh-oh.
oh,
Meanwhile, just chatting, we saw this last game, just how aggressive this Longhorn bot lane can be, but look at Mikan Win getting super low from the early trade.
yeah. It's the thing with Yumi is you're just auto attacking, and you don't want to attack the Yumi because you know that's not going to be for anything. So you have to try and auto the Sivir, but Mikan Win could not reach Vase there in the backline. See Sayonara Vince walking so far forward here, is just taunting them at this point, saying, "Hit me, please. Don't
He's
hit
like,
my
yeah, what are you guys
ADC."
gonna do? Auto me? I'm the Yumi. Come on. And look at, that's where I feel like Yumi isn't, high-skilled Yumis, when they play the game, I feel like it's really entertaining to watch how they bob and weave from being on someone versus auto-attacking to get the shielding. So really interested. Sayonara Vince, dare I say, as a support aficionado, has a Blitzcrank in his back pocket, can play, I think, pretty much any support champion. For this game here, a Sivir Yumi in game number 2, HOH, specifically in the bot lane, trying to turn things around from
Ooh.
last game, is the Ignite. Burning away Mikan Win, going to be able to back off, but a lot of damage out of this HOH bot lane early on.
Couple of trades coming through here in top as well. No W for Set. He might be dead here, actually.
Oh, Ignite from
Oh,
Arrogant.
big flash.
He's trying to punch his way through his Exian, but does not have enough damages. Meanwhile, Billabang in this bot lane. Mikan Win sticking around, wants the CS. The wave is not in a good position. Longhorn Gaming do not want to get the wave froze on them.
The power of the Senna is you can just stay in lane. You're healing up from fleet. You're healing up from your passive as well. So, or from the Q, sorry. So,
Yeah,
getting a lot of healing back, and you can sustain in this lane for quite a while. Rengar here on bot as well, trying to bait in, but Mikan has to be careful.
Vince is going to
Big
get
root.
rooted. Vase is getting low. As you mentioned, Mikan Win backing off, staying in the backline, going to try to heal everyone up and maybe get some snipes in from a range, but right now this bot lane, Vase and Sayonara Vince very comfortable, going to get the wave set right in a good position.
It's pretty stacked up here for Benjamex, and Thought the War going to go for the reset there in mid on that tier, and double Dorans in the top lane for Mordekaiser here. Looks like Arrogant decided to go with Longsword and a Dagger, so pretty standard buys for both of these two. We see Tom Kench 18 CS, a little bit behind, but that is kind of what you expect from a Tom Kench Senna.
Yeah.
A lot less activity in this early game.
Just a little bit.
Just a
But
little bit.
regardless, early Dragon going to be spawning up in just a little bit. DPS meter on this Zeri in the mid lane doing pretty well, hanging in there, but we're going to have to watch Benjamix in the last match, roamed like a madman on the Lissandra. Now we're going to be expecting the same exact thing on this Talia pick.
Ooh, Yellow Bum will be looking for Arrogant. Arrogant's pushed up pretty far here.
And here we go. The
no
root
flash
connects. He's got full stacks. He's looking, I think, for another root, but that's going to be a double face breaker for Arrogant. Charging up the grit. Huge haymaker is flashed away as Yellow Bumblebee dashing and jumping back in. First blood going over to his Exian on the top side.
No summoners available for Arrogant and no TP as well. It means that Yellow Bumblebee, a really good assist there, and it means that mid laner here is actually going to roam up. Level 6 available. Benji can throw up the wall, but has no help here in top lane, so I think he's just trying to pick up some farm. But level 6 means Benji might be in a tough spot.
Is Exian going to go ahead and throw the HOH mid laner into the Death Realm, but doesn't do a whole lot. Anyways, HOH on the bot side of the map, Billabang, going to be picking up the first dragon of the game without much issue.
Their first dragon of the series here, actually. And,
Yep.
good for them finding an objective early on in this game, and it did cost the life of their top laner, but in the end, that's okay. We'll take 1-for-1 dragon for kill, and see lethality picked up here for Rengar. We see the boots early on for the Wukong. Pretty good against Azeri Rengar comp that is going to be roaming a lot throughout this mid game. I think tabbies are just such a strong item. Or sorry, what are they called? Plated steel caps now?
Plated steel caps.
I miss tabbies was so much better.
Boomer, Billabang? Ninja
I am a league boomer. I will stand by Ninja Tabbies forever. That name is so much better than plated steel caps. Like,
Rest in
tabbies
peace,
forever
Ninja
in my heart.
Tabbies.
Sag.
Oh goodness. You know what, Billabang? I'm kind of on the same page as you. I was thrown for a loop when they changed the name. I was like, where are my armor boots?
You looked up tabbies in the shop, you're like, wait a minute, there's no tabbies anymore. They took my tabbies away. No, but getting back into this game, small gold lead here for Longhorn. They have the kill. Down one dragon. Zeri actually up a lot of CS on this Talia right now. Lost Chapter coming through. 3 long swords and a level up for DPS metered here. Probably get that back with the caddy, but looks like maybe another setup on bot.
Dashing in,
big
that's
knockup.
going to be a pick on maybe Sayonara Vince. Never good seeing the Yumi knocked away, but look at Vase. They are focusing down the ADC. Don't worry about the cat. But we got to worry about a different cat. Yellow Bumblebee dashing in with the ultimate. He's on the hunt. That's going to be a kill onto Mua. An assist from DPS metered. Big damage as Longhorn Gaming are starting to take over here. Big gold lead and 3 kills early on here in game 2.
A lot of damage onto Zesty. He has to be careful. There's no ult either. Has to watch this W. Oh, isn't gonna get the cancel though.
Oh, easy haymaker for Arrogant as he picks up a kill in the top lane as Benjamix coming down into the bot lane, looking to try and help turn things around for HOH. Just chatting quite low, gonna be able to run away. Benjamix gets rooted. Yellow Bumblebee doesn't get the dash from the bush, and just chatting gets pelted. There's the boulder, misses. Vase, the additional move speed, the healing though. From the Senna Q, me can win. The boomerang blade gonna be able to finish off the Longhorn ADC as the ward is gonna keep Yellow Bumblebee spotted out here. Vase trying to land those auto attacks, but a dash from the brush is gonna be enough for Yellow Bumblebee to get on out of there. Regardless, Billabang, big swing in gold. HOH down about 2.5k, turn things around and get the gold lead shortened to about 500 after the bot lane fight as a cyclone in the jungle. A storm comes through for Yellow Bumblebee as he's taken out.
Just gets smacked over the head with that staff of Wukong. No dragon up just yet, so no advantage there, but they will get a little bit more of that gold back in their favor. HOH catching up in that department, but pretty chaotic around the map. A solo kill in top, a lot of activity going on in the bot lane, but in the end it will be a kill over for Talia, as well as getting a lot of that farm back. So has evened up this mid lane quite a lot more, made it a lot closer. Bot lane, Sivir and Senna trading kills back and forth, and evening out the top lane as well. And it's just Vase.
Wow,
way too far.
A surprise kill there onto the HOH bot laner. Vase caught out. That's a whole lot of damage from the Zeri W. I guess that's what happens. He's probably maxing it first, and that's what happens, right?
Yeah, it's that extra low HP damage that you get. They're going to go for a dive here, actually. I don't know about this one.
Getting so low. The turret aggro was on just chatting, though, so that's going to be a kill picked up. Meanwhile, Arrogant trying to stay alive underneath the turret. The kill, it's a solo kill for Zexian, as that's his second one. Trying to turn things around. Again, Longhorn, they're trying to keep their season alive, as they're down in this best-of-3 series. Ultimate used here. Both bot lane ultimates. Me can win. Nowhere to run. Easy pickup as Vase picks up the kill.
The Toad was not there to save poor Senna, and it means that she goes down. Nothing she can do in that situation with that Yumi ult coming through. Really good job of really good awareness there, knowing that the Tahm Kench had gone for the reset. And I was weird. You know what's funny? Literally 4 minutes ago, we're like, this is a boring early game. Nobody's doing anything. 12 kills in 4 minutes. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, classic UAL. First couple minutes, keep it nice and slow, but then we start to get to that 1 kill a minute territory that we're kind of known for here on Thursday nights. It's only about a 1k gold lead for Longhorn, as things going much better for Zexian. Arrogant, not anywhere near kind of the powerhouse level raid boss mode he was at on Darius. But look at HOH. While Longhorn Gaming are trying to play more around the top side of the map, HOH this time are just fine Billabang playing around bot lane.
I got 2 dragons to their name this time, so swapped up a little bit, and it's the same Drake 2. Hex Tech gates are activated, give more mobility to these junglers, and I'm sure Rengar is loving that, able to walk through these lanes a lot faster, trying to get those stacks on that Bone Tooth. Has 2 at the moment, trying to find some more here, maybe onto this Taliyah. You see him sitting in that bush, just waiting for the opportunity to come through.
Rift Herald was also picked up for Longhorn Gaming, so not only are they trading kills on the top side of the map in favor of a Zexion, but they're also getting the objectives they need to potentially push this gold lead. Mua on the Wukong, sitting, hovering over the bot lane, making sure they're safe. Benjamix was looking for a bit of the roam, but I think Metered, as soon as he sees Taliyah kind of move out of lane, he's like, bot lane, you guys got to be careful. As Yellow Bumblebee flash available does land the net, but is not going to be enough to dive underneath the turret.
Yeah, not quite strong enough for that just yet. Bork is picked up here for the set, so he's going to be swinging a lot harder in that top lane. And you see the Bramble picked up there for the Mordekaiser. It's such a bait, I feel, because the thing is, when you're a top laner, when you're auto-wing stuff, because you buy a lot of this anti-heal stuff, right? But it does damage, and I don't have time to talk about it, because you might just kill him.
The Blade of the Ruined King, Arrogant, slams and just absolutely knocks out a Zexion as Yellow Bumblebee. You're dealing with the top lane stud of the UAL. 2 kills go over to HOH on the top side.
And that's exactly what happens when you buy that Bork first on set. It was something you haven't seen too much lately, but is so strong if the other person doesn't have their mythic, because it's a little bit cheaper and easier to get, and just absolutely slam the 1v1 here. DPS might be in trouble.
Oh, the minions, the rocks, he's just skating on thin ice. See you later, Benjamix. Flash smite from Mua comes in to finish off that kill. But oh my goodness, did it just feel like each and every single one of those rocks Billabang was going to connect, but it just barely missed?
If Zeri had a tail, that would have actually hit the tail, like guaranteed, because those were literally 2 inches away. Unfortunately, it wouldn't connect, and it does mean that Benjamix is going to be forced to trade for that kill and Flash Smite out of Mua, so won't have that available for 5 minutes as well. And third dragon coming up in about 2 minutes. That could be super important, but a lot of kills going on in these last couple of minutes here. Game's starting to ramp up. Gold's still pretty even. Objectives, 1 Herald over for Longhorn here. I don't know if they've used it yet. Yes, so they have used. I don't know, where did they use that Herald? I didn't even catch it.
I don't think.
Must have been in top.
Casters, what are you guys doing? Watch the freaking game, guys. I didn't see that Rift Herald either, but here we go. More fighting in the top lane is Arrogant with that Blade of the Ruined King. I think he's online, Billabang.
just a little bit. I think it's his time, and that is the power you have when you get Bork. You get the extra move speed, and it makes life so much tougher for the Mordekaiser here, because he's not going to be able to take you in these fights. Does finally pick up the Rift Maker, so can live for a little bit longer, but when you get in those fights, especially if you're going for an ultimate, you want to get him into that arena, you're going to lose that fight, so that kind of negates that ability. And the thing too is there's a tech that you can get as Mordekaiser. The only saving grace is the tech you can get as a set into Mordekaiser is if you go unstoppable when he's ulting, you will actually cancel it. So if he can time that perfectly, I think Arrogant is going to have a super big impact in these fights. So it'll be interesting to see if they can go for that one. But again, Gold pretty even. Ooh, good catch.
Oh, Benjamix stealing a whole lot of damage with those boulders. Exhaust was used, and I think that might as well just have kept Mikan alive there, Billabang. A lot of damage out of this Taliyah. The Everfrost completed. Going to be trying to root and slow down some of these low mobility carries. You do have to worry about meter in the backline, but I think the hope is maybe that Benjamix with the Everfrost can root down someone like the Tom Kench or the Mordekaiser long enough for the rest of the team to go in. Dragon, though, Billabang is spawning in about 10 seconds.
I like this Magi's purchase from Vince here. No fear at all. I mean, you are playing Yumi, so there's not too much of a risk factor, obviously. But regardless, is going to pick up that Magi's, get that extra AP going. That's some stupid damage. That is some ridiculous W damage from. Is it AP? It is AP. She has a needlessly large and the boots. That is some stupid W damage. That I can't believe that is half HPing somebody. It's like Kaisa W on crack.
Right? And it does only have to be through the wall, but they may have got the pick. They're separating. The team Longhorn Gaming is divided by 2 right now. The Rengar Hunt is active. A huge knock-up, huge wombo combo, a lot of damage on HOH Showstopper. Into the back line, Haymaker comes through. Arrogant in the back line is on a killing spree, but he's unable to finish off all the kills. Look at Benjamix in the back line, gets taken down. Longhorn Gaming, it is a 4 for 2 in their favor. They take the fight.
Again, it's this thing. You get to these mid-game team fights, and it's just all Longhorn Gaming all day long. Just when things look really good for HOH, an amazing initiation there by just chatting a 4-man knockup with the Yumi on top does mean that it looks so good in that fight, but it doesn't even matter because you have that set coming in, slamming himself into 4 people, but it kind of dooms him in that situation. Arrogant with a really good ult, but only ended up taking down just 1 person with that W. And I mean, outside of that, really good play by the Zeri, able to tiptoe around everybody there and get to that back line, take out that Sivir, meaning Yumi out of the fight as well. Really good execution by Longhorn, and they're going to take a 3K gold lead and get the Dragon on top of it as well.
HOH Gaming, we saw the Weaver's Wall kind of not really work for them in terms of separating Longhorn Gaming and getting a pick to start the fight. That doesn't come through really whatsoever, and Longhorn Gaming, as you mentioned, Billabang, able to find the engage with the Tahm Kench. Big ol' fight. Mua, afterwards, gonna head on over to the second Rift Herald, and this one's a whole lot tankier, so before second Rift Herald, not as big of an impact, but we might just see it make some noise here on this new patch.
Maybe 200 extra gold in the pocket if whoever takes it always feels better for Shelly there. Going to go down here in just a second. And I mean, Longhorn, you're a little bit behind in that early game. It felt like you were kind of slipping. You lost 2 dragons, but again, another really good team fight. You have Shadow Flame first completed on Zeri. I'm not even going to question at this point because I've never seen an AP Zeri. So you know what? Whatever you're building, it's probably correct. I would assume. I don't really know what's going on, but I mean, you saw how much damage that W was doing in that fight. Like that, literally, it's like a poke champion as an ADC. It's ridiculous.
Metered, and it really is tricky to play around metered on this Zeri because the poke damage is not coming from the angles you're kind of used to. You have to watch for these wall angles as big damage coming out of this lethality Senna. Vase has got to be careful with not a lot of armor, but here comes the Weaver's Wall. They're trying to catch out the bot lane. That's going to be the eat from the Tahm Kench. The blinding light coming in as well. Mikan Win stays,
look at that,
actually gets taken down, but it's Vase and Benjamix that fall. Longhorn Gaming, they have the peel that comes through and it keeps them alive. The dive does not work out for HOH.
Such a good initiation there, but so much sustain. Oh, fighting bot lane actually here.
Arrogant does get caught by the sweep away, but he's not slowing down. He's going underneath the turret. He's a little slow.
He doesn't even care.
He's getting up that grit, the flash away from the Haymaker. Now Arrogant drops down. That was huge damage coming out.
That's the Haymaker. That's the Haymaker we're looking for there. Mordecai's going to slam the hammer down.
Oh my goodness, look at this though. Yep.
Is going to get taken. They're going to trade it for the mid tower here. There's nothing they can do to try and contest this one. Is going over to Longhorn here. And good macro play, good awareness. And all around the map, again, Longhorn just taking these Ws in this fight. A huge solo kill in the bot lane for Zexian. They get Baron as well just for the cost of the mid tier 1. And I mean, that's just all profit for Longhorn.
Big gold swing is now they're up 4,000 here at the 21-minute mark. Things are starting to come together as they're finding their comfort in this match. Vase, once again on this Sivir, gonna look to scale up and maybe come through in the late game team fights. HOH have been down before just like this. We're getting deja vu. It's the classic UAL feeling. We've seen this game before, I reckon. The last time around, it was HOH who came out on top, arrogant on the set this time, not nearly as far ahead as he was in the first match.
Second item here for Wukong is going to be the Randuin's Omen. So, very interesting choice, but it makes sense, right? Oh, this is going to be a good catch, actually. EPS, he's just going down.
Helps out.
Good catch.
Locks down metered a little bit, and that's going to be a big pick. Baron buff still online. Billabang, we see Longhorn pushing both in the top lane as well as mid.
And that Baron buff activated. Not a ton of good wave clear outside of the Sivir for the side of HOH. So Longhorn just going to take advantage of that one. And looks like they want to fight again. I feel like it's just these top lanes just like, yeah, we'll just run at each other and fight all the time. How many solo kills in there going to get in this game? That's my question.
We got a fight on the top side of the map and an engage in the mid lane. Arrogant stays alive as Just Chatting gets shut down in the mid lane. Dragon is spawning Billabang, and HOH with 2 kills. DPS metered is able to take the Hex Gates to maybe get down to the Dragon, but I think this is going to be HOH's objective.
Yeah, they're going to pick up this one. They're going to try and find the top turret, though, in a trade. They're all going to go towards it. Arrogant might be stepping a little bit too far forward. Has W available, gonna go for it. Not gonna do too much damage though.
The root from the minion, Me Can Win, gets the instant snare off of killing the minion with the W. The top inner turret falls as Longhorn Gaming answer back on the top side of the map, but HOH Billabang, 1 Hextech Dragon away from the Hextech Soul.
Yeah, we've seen this before, though, for Longhorn last game. They got those dragons, weren't able to convert it into a win, so yeah, definitely not out of the water just yet. Still down about 4k gold here in this game, 23 minutes in. Advantage still in Longhorn's favor, but the longer this game goes on, the tankier this top and jungle are going to get for HOH. It's going to mean this Rengar is going to have more and more trouble getting into this backline. That's going to be the question, is can he get past this Wukong and this set to try and get access to the Talia and the Sivir? Because right now, it just seems like, yes, he had a couple nice kills early game, but he's just really struggling to find any assassinations in this mid game.
The next dragon not going to be for a little while. Same with Baron, Nasher, Billabang. We're in a bit of a lull as all the neutral objectives are down. This is a critical time for HOH as they're going to continue looking for picks. They've got the Weaver's Wall at the ready and they know there's no vision. Longhorn Gaming, they may sense that something is lurking. Benjamix has the angle though. He's taking the Weaver's Wall in. They're looking for Just Chatting. They're focusing down the Tahm Kench first as they handle the support with ease. HOH get a kill.
It's just like fishing. They just walk up with this frog and this every time they walk too far in mid. The ult comes down from Talia, and they catch at least 1 or 2 of them, and they're going to get the mid tier 2 out of it. It's just making the same mistake over and over and over again for Longhorn, and it's something that you can't afford to keep giving up, because one of these times it will bite you in the back, and you're going to lose more than just your tier 1 or your tier 2 turret.
Sometimes it's your whole base in the blink of an eye. Longhorn Gaming have been in this position before. Up in the game, and yet it doesn't feel quite all that much like a big lead in their favor. 3 items for Benjamix first. He's shopping on a budget, Billabang, as that Morellonomicon comes through a wee bit early compared to Meter's Rabadon's death cap that's coming through. No real magic resist outside of the Negatron cloak coming through for Mua. So I feel like Metered and a Zexian have big roles to play in the upcoming fights. As Baron spawning in about a minute here, the next dragon in 2 minutes.
Most of the time, I really don't like building the full Morello. I think it's kind of a waste of money, but in this situation, against a Mordekaiser, Senna, Tahm Kench, Rengar, I think it is pretty much completely necessary to finish that item here. Yeah. The extra healing is going to make a huge difference in these fights. And when that Rabadon comes through, yes, the Zeri will be doing a lot of damage with that W, but the anti-heal is going to be so important for this Talia. And I think if this third item comes through for Sivir, I think they have a real chance of fighting at this next objective.
Fighting in the topside jungle, Mua secures the blue buff Baron in 15 seconds. All 10 players up here on the top side of the map, Longhorn Gaming, gonna try to set up the waves to start pushing in this favor, as they are the ones with map priority and vision control around both objectives.
Dragon up in a minute 11. Baron is up now, and you see Longhorn pushing up so far. Nice catch on a Wukong, but they're not going to go for it. Just going to wait it out, see if they can burn any summoners. But no, Mua going to hold on to that flash for now. Reset coming through. They aren't aware that this is happening, so we'll see. Maybe if they decide to pull the trigger, they catch somebody out here, but it looks like they're not going to. Going to go for reset. Now we'll see. Do you go for this Baron, or do you threaten the soul if you're HOH?
Well, Billabang, Vase's Sivir got to the Infinity Edge. 3 items, 10 CS per minute, or just under 10 CS per minute. Dragon spawning in 30 seconds. As you mentioned, Baron starting up.
Leah no TP. She can't get to this one, so it is going to be a 4v5. They decide to fight for this.
Benjamix is trying to roam up with the Weaver's Wall. The objective is getting low. Baron Nashor is just about to be secured by Longhorn Gaming. There it is. They get the objective. Benjamix trying to get up for the rest of the team as quickly as possible. Arrogant stuck in the Death Realm. That's a lot of damage. Vase safe in the back line trying to hang on. That's a kill onto Azexian. Sivir is 8 up. Vase tries to flash away. Survives. Yes, it's a 4-on-3. There's Yellow Bumblebee. Immediately assassinates the ADC. Vase gets taken down, but here's the Weaver's Wall. It's a double kill. Benjamix, who roamed up from the bot lane, makes a huge impact in this fight. As Longhorn Gaming, they lose 3, they lose their jungler, but they have their 2 ADCs to try to hold on to the game as HOH look for the Hextech Soul.
This is going to be so close. DK and Win and DPS need to be able to stay alive. No ult available for anybody in this fight, so it's going to be all up to these skill shots to land. Nice flash.
Here we go, HOH trying to back off of the objective. Scuttle Crab goes over to HOH as the seismic shove connects Benjamix on a rampage, and this objective all but secured, but teleport coming in. There's the smite. Mua gets the Hextech Soul for HOH, shut down onto Benjamix. Get the Yuumi out, he's got 25 Magi stacks, and yes, HOH, they get the Dragon Soul. They might have lost a Baron, but hey, Dragon Soul's a Dragon Soul.
Dragon Soul you'll take any day of the week. Some kills to top it all off as well, and a 25 stack Medjais for the Yuumi. I told it was a good purchase. I told you it was a good purchase at 4 stacks. Yep. And has been able to keep it going even after a team fight that looked like it wasn't going their way, but Arrogant, I think walking a little bit too far forward, is really in trouble.
Oh, the Haymaker is going to get dodged beautifully there. Showstopper going to be used, but Arrogant easily is taken down.
Yeah, I think the problem comes at this later part in the game. Mordekaiser is going to win those duels more and more as this game goes on. Set is not going to be able to do anything, but Yellow Bumblebee is caught out here. Yellow
Bumblebee looked for the assassination, but the support is there for Vase. Sayonara Vince, 1013 on the Yuumi, is helping support his team as HOH. Oh goodness, Billabang, I'm starting to get jitters. This is the part of the game that I just love. HOH down in gold, but with the dragon advantage going their way. Vase on the Sivir. I can't imagine just how much Hextech Soul zapping is occurring off of just one Sivir ricochet.
Yeah, it's going to be, when that 4th item comes through, it is going to be insane. Looks like probably going to be GA, so maybe we won't see that spike just yet, but definitely now that 3 items have been completed, those W's are really going to hurt in a team fight, and they infinitely bounce now, so it makes things even harder, and especially now in 4 minutes when this Elder Dragon is up, that's going to be the real question. Baron up in 3 minutes as well. What objectives do you prioritize? Do you go for picks before these objectives come up, or do you just wait for it?
Oh, Billabang, they do not learn another angle from Benjamix as they look for the fight in the mid lane. Has the bot lane once again stepped up too far? It's a lot of damage from DPS. HOH, they haven't found a pick. Vase is trying to stay alive as Yellow Bumblebee looking for the assassination. It's a showstopper for Arrogant into the back line, but he doesn't find any kills. The health bars are so low for Longhorn Gaming. They're trying to stay alive, but it's the Vase hyper carry. The damage comes through though, and Vase is taken down. HOH Gaming, they try and push too far this time.
There was fractions of HP on everybody. Oh, Meek can win. Okay, it'll be okay. DPS meter's still up here as well, but there was fractions of HP on all 4 members of Longhorn there, and you could see in Vase's eyes, it was time. It was the pentakill moment, but unfortunately didn't have a Q up, so couldn't go for the play. And Senna Q auto and just done absolutely beautiful stuff. Again, Longhorn Gaming coming through in the team fight. Absolutely wonderful stuff. And I mean, huge shout out there to the Senna Tom Kench. Again, able to get out of that trap they were in, able to survive with just a sliver of HP, just enough to be able to keep themselves in that fight. And it made a world of difference for Longhorn there.
And we've been talking a little bit about how Me Can Win and Just Chatting caught out a few times in the mid lane. I think this time around, Billabang, they sniffed that something was up. They backed up as the Weaver's Wall was coming out and got in a pretty good position. Just Chatting, able to throw Me Can Win over onto the other side of the Weaver's Wall, which was critical. And this game so close between both of these teams. Longhorn Gaming fighting for their lives as their back is up against the wall in the losers bracket, 1 loss away from getting sent home.
Now this is the time. Sivir, 4 items completed for them. 3 items on a lot of other members here. We see Set on 3 items, Wukong on 3 items on the other side, Senna 3 items, Tom Kench even with 3 items as well here.
Right.
Zeri with the Lost Chapter, as well as the Rabadon's completed. A lot of AP, those W's really going to be hurting, but the question is, can they win in one of these prolonged team fights? They've been able to do it again and again. They've been able, even when it looks like they're going to be down in a fight and they're going to lose it, they end up turning it around. That's the question. Can HOH finally win one of these team fights? Are they going to get caught out in mid here?
A lot. Oh my goodness, the ultimate's coming out, the Tom Kench ultimate and the Sivir ultimate. HOH Gaming, they find the fight that they want to look for. Showstopper coming out. Arrogance is in the backline as Zexion stepping up a little bit. Watch out for the Death Realm. It's used onto Arrogance. Base, meanwhile, look at the Sivir. Look at the Hextech Soul coming through. The Sivir flash forward. The GA. Base is going to stay alive as he gets a huge fight here. Yellow Bumblebee tries to dash in, but it's a double kill for Vase on the Sivir. HOH Gaming, they engage the fight that is going to win them the game as they're going to start opening the base as they get the ace.
2-0 for HOH Gaming here. They are going to send us home in a 2-0 sweep. And absolutely unreal stuff. Again, it's these late game team fights that they're able to win, and Sivir at 4 items is unstoppable, just like HOH and Vase are. They're going to take it 2-0. They're going to keep this lower bracket run alive and strong. Top 4 for them. Longhorn Gaming, unfortunately, means they will be sent packing for the UAL, for the UAL in general. And I mean, again, they look down and out of it, but it doesn't matter because the late game, they win the team fight and they're able to turn it around. And all credit to HOH there, keeping their heads cool, able to keep themselves in it, and turns into a 2-0 sweep.
Man, Billabang, I don't know about you, but I had to take a deep breath after that match. What a nail biter. Longhorn able to almost turn it around. They got that 1 dragon. They had Baron buff, but fight after fight, Benjamix always ready to pull that trigger with the Weaver's Wall. And what a ballsy engage call for HOH to look for the final fight in that fashion. Vase, with the Yuumi on his back, he saw his opportunity. He used the Sivir ultimate to give everyone the additional move speed to try and find that fight, and it goes their way, Billabang. HOH, as you mentioned, keeping the losers' dream run alive. They've started here and they are thriving here in the UAL Summer 2022 playoffs.
Really good series on both sides. And I mean, both games, again, potential both teams to win it. Longhorn looking really good all throughout the early game, all throughout the mid game, winning these team fights consistently. But it's that trigger finger from Benji multiple times where he catches out the Senna Tom Kench walking up too far in mid, and it means that it's the end of that game, it's the end of the series, and it's the end of the season for Longhorn. So definitely something to think about moving on in the future. But congratulations to HOH making it to top 4, keeping,
Yeah.
like you said, the losers bracket run alive for yet another week here in the UAL.
And for all the UAL fans in the chat, as a reminder, HOH is going to be moving on into the playoffs to face the winner of the opposite losers bracket series. It's Team Ambition and Stratus taking on Crossroads. HOH faces off against the winner next week. But that's going to do it for tonight's coverage of the UAL. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the stream. We've got UPL action tomorrow here on the Unified Live channel, and more League of Legends action coming your way Thursdays and Fridays weekly here on the Unified Live channel. I've been Mac Dewey. Thank you so much, Billabang, for another just fantastic time in the casting booth with you, my guy. It's been an absolute pleasure. To Hyper and Leanne for making sure we get all set up and looking good on screen. Thank you to you guys as well. But that's going to do it for tonight's coverage. I wish you guys all a very good night and a wonderful weekend.